Pray every day to God Almighty that concerning life and love and happiness you will be granted God's grace and wisdom so long as you both shall live. Beyond the cloudy sky is the bright shining sun. Beyond the towering mountain is a peaceful valley. And beyond a day gone badly is a good day awaiting. So always look with faith to a bright tomorrow. As water is to the swimmer, as air is to the bird, so is God Almighty to your marriage. Always keep Him at the center of your lives. Like fresh baked bread is to the nose, like a rosy red apple is to your eyes, so also is kindness to each other. All three awaken interest and desire. A foolish general makes his own battle plan. A foolish coach makes his own game plan. And a foolish husband fails to consult his wife. All three need wise advice and consultations. You have one mouth and two ears, so use them proportionately. Some men fail with riches. Some men fail with knowledge. But no man fails with a godly wife. The opposite of a winner is a loser. The opposite of a proponent is an opponent. The opposite of an ally is an enemy. But the opposite of the husband is not his wife. The marriage succeeds when it is a team. Always hold each other up as winners. As rain is to a garden, as sunshine is to a flower, so are kisses on her neck. Like an orchestra's music is to deaf ears, like an artist's painting is to blind eyes, so also is a warm hug after a cold word. All three mean nothing to the receiver until they are healed. After the ninth inning, the baseball game is over. After the fourth quarter, the football game is over. After the third period, the hockey game ends. But a forgiving spirit makes a marriage last forever. As a mask covers the face, as clothing covers the body, as a hat covers the head, so also anger covers up grief and sadness. It is better to expose your tears than your anger. A flood of tears is better than one angry word. Real people do cry. It is better to cry a little now than it is to cry a lot later. Three things are just alike: eternal bliss in the paradise of heaven, spiritual rest in the hand of the living God, and a happy marriage blessed by God Almighty. It is better to be broken down, out of gas, and stranded alongside of the road in the middle of the desert in 110-degree heat than to continue arguing with your spouse. It is better to be trampled by horses than to threaten divorce. You will heal faster from eating a hot coal of fire than your spouse will heal from an insult. So eat a hot coal of fire instead. It is better to tie 1,000 bricks to your back than to curse your life with a divorce. It is better to go for a long walk than it is to have a short argument. It is better to be silent than it is to win an argument. Do you want to be married to the loser? If it's work, take turns. If it's no fun, take turns. If it's too hard, take turns. If there's not enough, take turns. If there's too much, take turns. If it's pleasurable, take turns. Wives and husbands do not come with directions, so remember to help each other out. Never forget to say thank you and mean it. If you want an irreplaceable best friend, be an irreplaceable best friend. Never lose your faith, your hope, and your love on the same day. If you do, call for a timeout and a do-over. Rain in the desert is just like forgiveness. Both cause life to grow again. Earn each other's respect, except on a really bad day. Then give respect to each other freely. When your spouse deserves respect least of all, this is the time when they need it most of all. In the time of greatest need, somebody will be there for your spouse. Be that somebody. Acting in a kind and loving way is better than saying the words, "I love you," but both are essential. God is more important than marriage. Marriage is more important than work. Marriage is more important than the children that come from the marriage. Without a happy marriage, the children will suffer loss. Never forget these words. So they are no longer two, but one. Therefore, what God has joined together, let man not separate. Never forget, the very same God who joined you together is the very same God who keeps you together. Never test God to see whether you are able to keep the marriage together based upon your own passion, desire, and affection without His help. What God Almighty has given to you is far greater than what you could devise out of your own cleverness and ingenuity. Your choices are clear. Seek God first in your lives and prosper, or seek another road and suffer loss. Put loyalty to God above all. Put loyalty to each other next. And the God of faith, hope, and love will bless your marriage. Each and every day, turn to God Almighty for grace and wisdom. And never forget that you are in truth granted God's grace and wisdom.